A right delayed is a right denied. A riot is the language of the unheard. War is a poor chisel to carve out tomorrow. It is incontestable and deplorable that Negroes have committed crimes, but they are derivative crimes. They are born of the greater crimes of the white society. I want to be the white man's brother, not his brother-in-law. It may be true that the law cannot make a man love me, but it can keep him from lynching me, and I think that's pretty important. Nonviolence means avoiding not only external physical violence, but also internal violence of spirit. You not only refuse to shoot a man, but you refuse to hate him. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This is the interrelated structure of reality. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. Never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. Law and order exist for the purpose of establishing justice, and when they fail in this purpose, they become the dangerously structured dams that block the flow of social progress. Rarely do we find men who willingly engage in hard, solid thinking. There is an almost universal quest for easy answers and half-baked solutions. Nothing pains some people more than having to think. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon, which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. It is a sword that heals. Have we not come to such an impasse in the modern world that we must love our enemies, or else? The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, wars producing more wars, must be broken, or else we shall be plunged into the dark abyss of annihilation. The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists who are dedicated to justice, peace, and brotherhood. A nation or civilization that continues to produce soft-minded men purchases its own spiritual death on the installment plan. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. Indeed, it is a weapon unique in history, which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. Violence as a way of achieving racial justice is both impractical and immoral. I am not unmindful of the fact that violence often brings about momentary results. Nations have frequently won their independence in battle. But in spite of temporary victories, violence never brings permanent peace. All progress is precarious, and the solution of one problem brings us face to face with another problem. Property is intended to serve life, and no matter how much we surround it with rights and respect, it has no personal being. It is part of the earth man walks on. It is not man. The question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists we will be. The nation and the world are in dire need of creative extremists. We who engage in nonviolent direct action are not the creators of tension. We merely bring to the surface the hidden tension that is already alive. The sweltering summer of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. The yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself. Means we use must be as pure as the ends we seek. To other countries, I may go as a tourist, but to India, I come as a pilgrim.